On CTV News at 5, serious allegations. Why some at the Piikani Nation say the entire 12-person council should be fired. Plus, about time the city's first cardiac clinic is open. Welcome relief for weary patients. And could a simple blood test predict a complex disorder?
CTV News with Elissa Carpenter.
Good afternoon. A downtown pub was evacuated and a section of 6th Street cleared for several hours this afternoon. Firefighters were called to the Telegraph Tap House just before noon today. They say staff were descaling the grill when chlorine bleach was accidentally spilled on it, creating noxious fumes and gas. The Tap House's chef was taken to hospital as a precaution, but has already been released.
They took their cook to hospital. The fumes didn't clear out, so about 3 hours later they give us a call, and right now we're just in monitoring to see what kind of gas has been formed. Once we have figured that out, we'll get it cleaned up and get the business back.
Right now, pub management says they are finishing the cleanup efforts and will reopen at 6 o'clock. Human error looks like the cause of this fire. Lethbridge Fire says it all started at a pit at Alexander Wilderness Park, but whomever set it didn't put the fire out properly before leaving. It took 10 crews about 3 hours to settle the flames. They say conditions are very dry despite recent rain and snowfall. Time now to check in with Dory, and oh, there you are. Hi, Dory. Are these dry conditions going to stick around?
We do have some dry conditions to deal with over the next few days, and windy conditions as well, so just a cautionary note there. Winds could be gusting tomorrow afternoon to 70 kilometers per hour, but that's bumping our temperature up to 23 degrees. I'll have all the details coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Dory. It's a first for Lethbridge, and it's been a long time coming for heart patients. Lethbridge's cardiology clinic is open. Doctors here are working closely with University of Oxford hospitals to fill a void many say is long overdue. Daryl Rummelt reports.
This valve is quite calcified and thickened.
The images on screen confirm what doctors had suspected. 86-year-old Sherman Ewing is dealing with a narrowed heart valve.
See the branching of the patient?
It's non-life-threatening and things look and sound otherwise okay. Dr. Saya Zelke specializes in matters of the physical heart. She's Lethbridge's first resident cardiologist. What was once a 2-hour drive from Chinook Regional Hospital to a Calgary facility for cardiac imaging or consultation is now mere steps.
We hope to be able to work with them to be able to provide the services that ordinarily would need a cardiologist involved.
Inside a small clinic, Zelke and her staff are hoping to do a world of good. They've invested in state-of-the-art technology and have received world-class guidance in getting themselves started.
It's incredibly valuable because it's really difficult to start something from scratch and get it right very quickly. And these are people's lives, these are people's hearts. We have to get it right.
So now suddenly they've got an expert facility right on their doorstep. They can get there very easily, very quickly. The appointments are readily available and the results are back with their referring physicians, the next day. So I think for patients who've never had this service available, this is absolutely crucial.
For patients like Sherman Ewing, it makes life just a little bit easier because getting to another city for treatments or consultations can oftentimes prove difficult, if not impossible. Dr. Zelke says she chose Lethbridge because of the team of physicians at Chinook Regional Hospital and her strong commitment to rural health care. Chinook Cardiology has been taking appointments for a little over a week and will be fully operational on Monday. Daryl Rummelt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
And the next nearest cardiology clinic to Lethbridge is in Calgary. There is more unrest on the Piikani Nation. Some residents are calling for the resignation of 12 band councillors. At issue, allegations that band funds are being misused. But as Terry Vogt reports, council members say residents are misinformed and contend another by-election won't fix long-standing problems.
We are calling
About a dozen members of the Piikani Nation gathered at the band office, calling for 12 band councillors to resign over allegations they had misused and mismanaged funds from a 2002 trust agreement between the Piikani Nation and the federal and provincial governments.
Where are programs? Why aren't they supporting the young people? Where is our money going?
It says right here.
Dissident band members say the Piikani Nation election bylaw gives them the power to remove the councillors under the same section that council used last fall to suspend Chief Gale Strikes with a gun.
The only people that are supporting council are their immediate families.
They're saying that we're dysfunctional. Well, there's no truth to that.
Members of band council insist they are working to better programs and services for band members, doing the best they can with the limited resources they have.
I kind of have to disagree when I hear those statements, nothing's happening. There are things happening. There's times where we can't satisfy everyone's needs. It's unfortunate, but it's not unique to just our nation. Even Canada itself can't address all of its population's needs.
I always say that there's three sides to every story, yours, mine, the facts, and I'll stick to that because that's what seems to be going on a lot. A lot of people ain't really understanding, like I said, how the bylaw is written.
Band councillors say there's a process for everything. They say they'll look at the documents they received but are under no obligation to resign. Terry Vogt, CTV News, on the Piikani Nation.
Most Coaldale residents are facing a property tax increase. Town Council has passed its new budget, and for the average homeowner, taxes will increase about $5 per month. Utility rates will stay the same. In order to keep the increase as low as possible, some vacant positions within the town will not be filled. Councillors say the town doesn't have the benefit of big city industry, and it's constantly looking for ways to improve the economy. One of two men charged in the alleged via train terror plot rejected the allegations against him when he faced a judge. Gilbert Essagayer did not have a lawyer for his first appearance and denounced the legitimacy of Canadian courts, saying that laws are written by people who are not perfect and therefore judgments based on those laws are unreliable. Essagayer and co-accused Ray Jasser will be back in court next month. Meantime, new details emerging from the FBI about last week's Boston bomb attack. In a news conference this afternoon in New York, the FBI said 19-year-old Johar Tsarnaev told investigators he and his brother Tamerlan were planning to set off bombs in Times Square when they made the choice to try the bombs in Boston first. Investigators also confirmed Tamerlan, the older, now deceased brother, was under surveillance under suspicion of terror activities. Johar Tsarnaev stopped cooperating with investigators. Premier Redford says her proposed legislation will make life easier for first responders like those who respond to events like the Boston bombing. The bill ensures first responders diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder will automatically qualify for workers' compensation without having to prove their illness is work-related.
We as a society have to take care of the people that are first there for us. And so we were very proud that we were able to pass this legislation as Bill 1 and to ensure that people who are first responders are able to rely on the systems that we have in place to support them when those experiences happen.
Over the past year, nearly half of Alberta's first responders have made claims for PTSD. Cuts to post-secondary education has early childhood educators worried enough about college practicum students to help keep preschools operating. It could result in the closure of several preschools around southern Alberta. Jeanette Roche explains.
It's working. Good job. 3-year-old Liam has been attending preschool in Picture Butte for the past 2 years. He doesn't know it yet, but he may not be able to come back again next year. According to Jenna Friesen, the second part of the 2-year early childhood education program at Lethbridge College is on the chopping block because of post-secondary budget cuts.
At the parent preschool program, we partner with the Lethbridge College and utilize their practicum students to run our program. And so by cutting the program at the college, they're actually having a huge impact on our program.
Friesen says without the practicum students, the preschool program can't operate because they simply can't afford to hire the staff. And if the college goes to an online format for the second year, she feels students won't get the practicum experience they need.
Students should learn human services fields by working with people, by working with the children.
Online is not the same. You don't get that practical experience. There's so much time working with children, talking with them, interacting, as well as the parents.
Parents like Liam's mom, Tanya Salam, who says preschool has been a necessary part of her child's social development.
I can't see any of us opening our home to this many children and this many mothers. We couldn't accommodate it, really.
And the impact of losing this program could be huge. If the second year of this early childhood education program is cut next year, then about 200 of these little guys will go without preschool in the future. Jeanette Roche, CTV News, Lethbridge.
CTV did reach out to Lethbridge College for comment, but our calls have not been returned. Time now to take a look at your market numbers.